With the Shakhtar game coming up later tonight, it is quite clear Arsenal need to rest some players for Liverpool. With that being said, and the cries from the supporters, it is time Arsenal to play Ethan Nwaneri from the start, where he can finally prove his worth in a complete game. But why is this the perfect opportunity? Let's get into it. Every single Arsenal fan has been wanting Ethan Nwaneri to play more for Arsenal. I think a lot of fans were very frustrated after the Bournemouth game, but we have been frustrated before that game that he hasn't played enough as we'd want him to. Now, the Bournemouth game was a real good example of Arteta not really trusting him just yet, but people being valid in the opinion that he should play more. Arsenal had no creative aspect out of the team, with Saka and Odegaard being injured, although the early red card to Saliba did not help. I think it was also more annoying that he was brought on in the 81st minute just after Arsenal had conceded their second goal and the game was seamlessly gone, trying to get him to defend even more, and he's not really going to create anything in the situation that we were in. He's going to need the players around him for any sort of help he can get, and it seems like you were just putting him in unwinnable situations rather than giving him an actual chance. Now, I do want to say that I barely ever criticise Arteta because I genuinely believe he barely ever makes mistakes. He made a mistake this weekend and I did criticise it in a past video, but I also think his inclusion of youngsters, or more particular Nwaneri, has been quite peculiar, and I understand his perspective. However, I necessarily don't think it has achieved great things just yet. Now, I understand the whole point of Nwaneri being so young, being a 17-year-old, and you want to nurture him into the squad. He should not be thrown into the deep end at all, and he should be slowly played in games. However, I do think it is definitely a phase in Arteta's career where he has shown that he prefers to play older, more experienced players than younger players. He has done this quite a lot with a lot of youngsters we have had, and of course people like Saka have come through who are undeniable quality, but even at the start of his career he played in left back because that was a spot of position that we needed, and he'd rather just shove this youngster there than actually warrant putting him in the attack at a young age. Now, it's all about preferences, and I can understand Arteta wanting a little bit more of experience and he wants intelligent players. However, when they made the decision in the summer to get rid of Fabio Vieira, who apparently did ask to leave himself, and Smith Rowe, which I do think was needed, I think Smith Rowe needed to go and play somewhere else, it kind of left Nwaneri as being that only attacking midfielder-esque player who's really going to back up for Odegaard. Now, Nwaneri is more of an advanced 8, but I do think Odegaard is more of an advanced 8 as well. They play very similar roles. If anything, Nwaneri is actually better at driving from the ball from deep from what I've seen, but the vision of Odegaard is probably better from a passing sense. I think Arsenal have been quite fortunate this year that with Odegaard's injury, Saka stepped up and was that creative outlet, having some incredible creative stats and obviously getting a load of assists in the early games. Now with Saka injured, he hopefully will be back for Liverpool. If not, that's a whole bigger problem entirely. There's no reason to risk Saka for this game against Shakhtar, but this game is still important. The Champions League, we need to get points, we need to keep winning, and with Inter Milan away being our next game after this in a few weeks time, it is vital that we can win this game against Shakhtar and get a good result on the pitch. However, they are obviously one of the weaker sides that we are playing. This is why I do think it is the perfect opportunity to play Nwaneri. We're in a situation where we desperately need some creative players against a team that we are going to have the ball quite a lot against them, and their defense isn't the best. So also, it's not necessarily a complete low risk opportunity, but it's more low risk than you would get in most league games or other Champions League games, and it's a perfect game where you can put leaders next to him. Now, I expect someone like Jorginho to play this game. We're going to have a lot of the ball, we're going to have a lot of pressure, and it could be a game where Jorginho really comes in and excels. Also, it means that we can rest people like Partey and Declan Rice maybe. I think one of them will probably end up playing with him, or we could finally test our Marino midfield situation. We could play Nwaneri on the right in that attacking midfield 8 sort of right side spot, and play Marino on the left, giving us even more creative outlets, and it means we don't have to rely on Timber and Calafiori all the time to do all the creative work, because like it's been quite clear that Timber's been injured, and hopefully Timber's back for Liverpool, which I think is probably one of the big misses for Arsenal, as well as obviously Saka and Odegaard. But if none of them are fit for this game, I just can't see a world where Nwaneri doesn't start. I think he has to, unless he's going to put someone like Trossard in midfield, and he could work with that, which I don't think would be the worst option. But this is the great opportunity to experiment, and I just really think that Nwaneri deserves a shot, and I think he deserves it as well, because it's not like he's a 17-year-old that has come out of nowhere and suddenly everyone wants him to play. Arsenal are a very good side, and obviously every game is utmost of points for our team. All the fans know this, you can see it on social media all the time, but they still want Nwaneri to play, because every time this guy's come on, he understands understands the game state more importantly, and he's more intelligent and makes really good decisions on the ball. The game against Tottenham where he's sitting there defending, brilliant. The game against Leicester where we need a goal and he makes that run later on, he's always got the right idea in the right time, and the only way this is going to improve is if he plays more minutes around smarter players. Gaining intelligence from the players around him is going to make him a better player, and at his young age you don't want to play him too much, I think is definitely the case, but at the moment he's not playing at all. He's not playing in the under 23s because he's within the first team, so giving him a couple of minutes here and there, I can understand it being the solution Arsenal want, but with the fact that we are literally limited on the attacking creative players that we have, with pretty much all of our main creators in attacking areas being out injured, or you expect not to really be risked that much against Shakhtar, I think this is the brilliant opportunity to play him. And I've said before that I expect him to get a lot of minutes when Odegaard hasn't played, and in the end that hasn't happened due to, I think, a little bit of Arteta's stubbornness, but also the fact Saka has been amazing. But now we can't afford to do that. I think that Bournemouth game has really shown that we can't afford to sit still and not make decisions. We have to play an attacking system with attacking players. We can't go conservative and play a Rice, Partey, Marino midfield anymore because there just is no creative outlets there. We can't keep relying on Havertz to come into midfield to progress the ball. We need to let him get the good chances within the box with his height and physicality and actually make him clinical, because some of his goals this year have been brilliant, but he's coming so deep to pick up the ball and progress it that you can definitely tell we are missing Odegaard in there. It's not only that, but Nwaneri has an ability to receive and beat players in the half spaces, but also be very good on the turn and very physical and very fast. I think that he has enough technical ability to be amazing right now, but he always seems to make the right decisions. The only start he got was that Bolton game in which he scored twice in and played really well. And I also think Lewis Skelly played really well, and a lot of people always talk about how Lewis Skelly doesn't get the hype as Nwaneri. I think it is just a positional thing. Lewis Skelly has been playing left back for us when he's come on this season. I know he can be seen as a midfielder as well, and we have a lot of left backs, so it's going to be hard for him to get into the team, even though I'd love for Lewis Skelly to also play this game. Nwaneri is in a position of need for Arsenal right now that we didn't address in the summer because we believed in Nwaneri, and it does seem a bit not connected with how much he's actually played in this game, given the opportunity there is for him to play. And I know he's young, and I know he's got forever and he could easily play it, but it's not even necessarily always about his development. It's just the fact that I need Arsenal to be a bit more creative going forward. And of course Shakhtar isn't really worried from that sort of perspective. We should win. The loss on the weekend I think has put things in perspective of where the team is at and the fact that we really do need Odegaard and Saka, so the best make do is probably Nwaneri in there right now. And like I said, me criticising one decision that Mikel Arteta makes doesn't mean that I think he isn't an incredible manager and he's doing an incredible job, and it doesn't mean I think I can do better. It's just in my opinion that I think Nwaneri has to play tonight because I just think the options for Arsenal are very limited. I also would love to see him start as well in a game where we're probably going to be very attacking and hopefully very encouraging, and I also want Arsenal to rest as many players as possible for the game against Liverpool at the weekend, and these will be things that Arteta is thinking about and knows as well that we kind of need to do, but I know he will still play a strong team because it's a Champions League, which is fair enough. Overall, this isn't supposed to be a hate video. This is literally just a video because I want Nwaneri to play and I really think this is the best opportunity to do it, but we will see overall what happens with Arsenal. Let me know in the comments what you think and who you think should start, or who do you think will start, because there is a lot of rumours that maybe we're going to play a defensive midfield, which I just think we can't do against Shakhtar. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.